Today's book review is Gild by Raven Kennedy. The tropes in this book are dark romantic fantasy, gilded prisoner, and arrogant men acting like assholes. So this I saw a lot on Book Talk as like a spicy romantic fantasy novel you should read.
Yes.
And I was a bit shocked because I wouldn't say that there's any romance, and the only spice that was in it was assault. So this review will not be giving any scores to the spice because we're not comfortable reviewing assault.
So this book is about King Midas. It's a play on the the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Fairy tale King Midas, where his touch turns things into gold. It includes a main character called Orin. She is gold.
Made of gold.
By his touch.
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps her in a cage and a war breaks out.
Mm-hmm.
Drama ensues. As this happens, there's a lot of history about her past, some pedophilia it seems like in there, a little bit of Stockholm syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of like dramatic things. However, even though there were all these little things happening, it felt manufactured and kind of just felt boring.
Yeah, I agree. It was very boring, I thought, until maybe like the last 20 pages. Yeah. But I mean, I guess in the book world they say that this is a lot of world building. What did I forget? World building. And so there are a few, I think 2 more books in this series, and I'm really hoping that those are going to pick up, or else it's just concerning.
Characters, I would say I kind of hated them all.
All of them were bad. Like, Orin, I felt like, you know, she's like the gilded prisoner that you're supposed to feel bad about because she's had like this such like traumatic life and whatnot. But I just like the way she was written wasn't really likable. Like, I didn't feel like I related. I didn't feel sympathy for her. I felt confused, and I just wanted to be like, no, you silly girl.
And King Midas, he referred to her all the time as his precious. So I don't know if this was intentional or not, but in my brain, I kept on thinking of Gollum from Lord of the Rings with his precious ring, because she's made of gold.
She's made out of gold.
So, and she refers to herself often as a coin, not to be spent. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, is this intentional? I don't know. But every time the king called her precious, I think it was supposed to be meant to be endearing, but to me, I was just like, precious in my head.
Again, no romance.
No romance. No. So no spice to talk about in the book. Not a lot of likable characters. Dateability? Who did we date?
Okay, I mean, there is one character that we like the most, and he was in it for a short period of time, but he was her guard for a bit. His name was Sale. But, I don't know, you still never really found out that much about him to be like, what's he about?
Yeah.
Other than he, like, became obsessed with her very quickly. Like, yeah.
So are you saying you would date Sale?
No! I'm saying that he was the most likable character, but, like, even then, it was, like, it's still, like, fleeting.
Very fleeting. Yeah, I was trying to think to myself, I'm like, is there anyone in here I would date? And I'm like,
what did we like about this book? Maybe we should try to think of that. What did we like?
What did I like?
I liked a lot of the other reviews people wrote on Goodreads about this, like wondering if she poops out gold as well. That was a hilarious review. Yeah.
So if you're looking into kind of twisted dark fantasy and this is your thing, go for it. But I would say otherwise, this probably won't be for you. And you might be like us, where you're like, I read it and I read it quickly, but nothing much was taken away from it.
I read it in maybe like 1.5 days and was like, wow.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The last 20 pages. And then maybe you meet one character in the last 20 pages and you definitely really thinking like, okay, this has got to go somewhere. So that's where you got to get the second book. I am somewhat interested about where that went.
So she strung us along enough that we want to read the second book.
Honestly, only because we're doing these book reviews. I probably would give up now if we're not doing these book reviews. But you know what? Book Talk 2. You really, this is the second time I've been tricked by you where people have been like, they fucked. And I read them and I've been like, oh God.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's recommending this? Shame on you.
Shame on you, book talk. Anyways, that's our review. Stay tuned to the next one eventually. We might need to cleanse our palate a little bit though before starting.
Yeah.
Okay, till next time.